Richie, do you have anything to say?
Richie, this is your namesake movie.
Yay! She's excited.
Richie!
Yeah, we definitely have to mention that we have a cat named Richie.
And that you're a trash mouth. You were eating out of the garbage can all night long.
Super fucking sucks.
Yeah.
My name's Austin Arpeza. I'm an amateur videographer, and I just watched the movie It. And that just so happens to be the movie we'll be reviewing today on
Boomtown Podcast.
Hit it.
My name is Maddie, and I am a little biased about this movie, but I'm gonna try to be very direct and honest.
Please
do. I think that our overall rating of the movie It, the 2017 one, let's make the distinction, not the fucking 1990s one.
Do you like the Tim Curry one?
No.
Really?
No.
That interests me.
It's not very good.
Really?
I mean, it's really not.
Controversial!
I don't know. I don't think it's very good.
I remember it being decent.
Yeah, I thought that it was scary the first time that I watched it, but I think I was just a child.
I thought it was more silly than scary.
Yeah. It's just...
I remember not liking it, and I saw it as a child.
Mm-hmm.
It's just tacky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the acting is bad. Yeah, Tim Curry is like the best part of it.
Let's establish that real quick.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it is silly.
Yeah.
Like, it comes off as much sillier.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But yeah, so this is the 2017 version directed by Andy Muschietti, not the original. And I think that our overall rating is going to be 45 out of 60.
Okay.
I think the overall rating is going to be a 50 out of 60.
A 50. And did we determine that a 50 and above is hashtag toned?
Yeah.
Without the hashtag, because we are cooler than that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What did Scott Pilgrim get?
Yeah.
55.
Wow.
Scott Pilgrim crushed it.
Yeah.
Wow, apparently.
My name's Austin Swain, and I think that, and I also very much enjoy this movie. Austin, my guess was also 50. And Maddie, you guessed 45?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm gonna stick to my guns. I also think that this is going to be certifiably toned with a score of 50 out of 60.
I'm going to say you can't take my score point. You have to go one above or one below.
50, 40, 48.
48?
Mm.
All right. And the first one goes over, loses.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Price is Right rules.
Yep.
I think eventually we should get some sort of a scoreboard for like how we have performed in these guesses.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just talking about the first It.
Yep, we're talking about the 2017 Bill Skarsgård It movie.
Chapter 1.
Chapter 1. Swain, can you give the roomies a refresher on how we are going to judge this here film?
What's up, roomies and roomies? It's a gender-neutral term.
Thank you for clarifying.
I was going to say roomies and roomettes, and I was like, but there's no need.
Yeah. Room dicks and room vag. What
yeah, buddy. Today, we are going to be doing a little bit of a movie review. This is our third installment, and we've broken it up into 4 different categories, and each of us is allowed 5 points in each category to award to the movie. The first one is cinematography, looking at just kind of the general style and artistic direction. The characters, that entails like the casting and the portrayal and just kind of the overall writing of it. The story, just the way that it's grasped and the way that it's told and the way that it makes you feel. And then the overall watchability, just how did you enjoy it? Mm-hmm. Beyond all of these like artistic doucheries, did you just have a good time? Would you watch it again? And then all of that's going to be collected into an overall score totaling 60 points in total.
Hell yeah.
Have we been giving a synopsis of the movie?
No.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to do it then.
Okay.
Maddie, give us the scoop. What's this film all about?
Since it is very near and dear to my heart, the synopsis of the movie It, as given to us from Google, is 7 young outcasts in Derry, Maine are about to face their worst nightmare, an ancient shape-shifting evil that emerges from the sewer every 27 years to prey on the town's children. Banding together over the course of one horrifying summer, the friends must overcome their personal fears to battle the murderous, bloodthirsty clown known as Pennywise.
Bow, bow.
Hey, kids!
They all float.
I will say, I wouldn't trust any clown in a sewer gate, no matter how old I was.
What if he smelled like popcorn?
No.
What if he had balloons?
The fuck the balloons.
What if he had a nice face?
That man is trying to touch me, and I don't want that.
Pretty charming, though. And he just wants to eat you. So let's talk first about the cinematography. How does the camera communicate to the audience?
Well, I'm going to say it did pretty well. I'll start this conversation off since I recently watched it. I believe I watched it on Tuesday.
Hell yeah. And we watched it on Sunday. We're all pretty fresh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We watched it and Chapter 2 back to back, which is the way that it should be done.
As God intended.
So I guess I'll start that conversation off. Well, I had to say I really enjoyed the cinematography. The way that they use the camera to not only inflate the natural horrors of Bill Skarsgård, but to also kind of advert the horror. Like I remember multiple times when I watched the movie where I'm like, oh, something's about to happen. This thing is about to happen. I see they set up A, I see B is about to unleash, but then they show me D instead of C. It's like, I don't know if that makes sense. It's like they completely invert it, and like I'm almost more scared because of it, because literally it feels like anything could happen.
Yeah.
Truly.
That's totally fair.
Yeah. I would say it's a very clean movie. Like, it's very well put together.
Yes.
In the cinematography category, I would go so far as to include like set design and like costume and, you know, like all of kind of those visual elements, at which I think Maddie disagrees.
You would include set design and cinematography?
Based on our categories, I was also wondering that because
Based on our categories.
Based on our categories, we have cinematography, character, story, watchability, and the tone. I feel like with cinematography, that like kind of leads into the various other elements of the storytelling process. Because I was going to mention about the audio cues that they include. Like, I really enjoy, like, you know, something as simple as like a kid reading. It's followed up by like what he's actually reading. It's like this faint whisper that's in the background. I remember seeing it in theaters and hearing that whisper and, you know, within the nice speakers and just kind of feeling that chill. I feel like that was just like a really fun way to show the story without actually showing exactly what happened.
Yeah, totally. I think that we should view these categories as much broader than the single word that is used to headline them. But I mean, I think we should find whatever way we can to talk about every aspect of the movie. So
I agree.
Rather than cinematography, maybe we say it's like just like the artistic language that's used.
Douche jar.
Boom, take a point. Which I think they do very well in terms of like the setting and like the costumery and presentation of the events, I think are really cleanly done. I feel like, you know, you feel like you're there and there's nothing that is kind of taking you out of the story.
Yeah, I agree.
Is like special effects also being included in this?
I feel like that would, yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Well, and it's a 5.
You'd say it's a 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they knock it out of the park.
Because I don't think just the pure cinematography is very good. I mean, it's good, but it's not like anything that's like spectacular.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty standard camera work.
I would almost disagree on that because, like, I don't know. When I remember rewatching it, they had like very interesting angles.
Being that I like the movie so much, I feel like I had a rose-colored glasses moment of thinking that the cinematography was like super crazy and over the top and like interesting.
Yeah.
But watching it recently, I feel like it was, I mean, it's just very clean, and very easy to understand. Like, there's not really any crazy shots in it that like come to mind.
Yeah.
I guess I think of the sewer one where it's turning 360 through the sewer.
But that's like the
You'll float
intro,
too.
you know? It's like,
right.
It's like the title sequence.
I think they take the opportunities that they can to make creative decisions, But I actually really support the idea that the rest of the cinematography is so grounded. So often the camera is at eye level, like it feels like you're just looking at these things and watching them happen. And I feel like that it makes it that much scarier and that much more grounded.
I will also say they started a TikTok trend. It did.
What's that?
So in the scene where Pennywise is like dancing or whatever, doing this,
yeah.
And it's like locked onto its head,
Yeah.
like the camera is, I feel like that's like started the whole like people doing that like on TikTok.
Interesting.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm. I do not know for sure. I will say maybe I should look it up before I say I spread propaganda about Pennywise.
That's fair. It's funny. I actually did a music video that had that effect.
I remember that.
It didn't work, but the idea was there.
Yeah. Do you think that it didn't work because of the sharpness of the image, or like, because I remember for some reason I remember like grainy. Was it dark when you were doing that?
No, I think I was just shooting on cheap glass. It was just a poor quality lens, and so the image didn't have a lot of clarity.
Okay.
I would say the other problem was the way I was shooting it was I wanted to show off the environment, but the reason I tracked onto the performer's face was because I wanted like the performer to like cut between each environment without like much change to their body.
Yeah.
But since the shot was so wide, the like movement of the head in the camera tracking that was really subtle.
Mm-hmm.
So like that effect never really worked. But like that was the concept, was like his face was always going to be like the center of it, and his world would be changing around
gotta
him.
Be way closer.
Yeah, for sure.
So what would you guys give this out of 5 cinematography wise, Swain?
I would also give this a 5. It's clean. It's so well done, and it does exactly what it wants to do.
Are you still gonna give it a 5?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
After why?
It just made it sound like it's similar to like the ones where like that sounds bad. I feel like a 5 needs to be really good. It needs to be like,
see, but if we're gonna include like the set design and the special effects and like just the overall like well doneness of it, then I think it's a 5.
Okay, that's fair.
Like based on just cinematography and just camera like shit,
right?
It'd be like a 4 or a 3.
Well, let's as a group just just say that once and for all. What does this category entail?
I think it includes the production of it.
Sure. Like the artistic language of the film.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think the setting is perfect, and I think the vibe is perfect, and I think that the special effects are perfect. So
yeah.
In that case, it should be a 5.
I agree.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Hell yeah. We almost got it.
Mm-hmm. Almost got the perfect run.
Yeah.
Perfect Ickbite.
I support that.
Mm-hmm. Characters.
5. I don't even need to talk about it.
Okay. But we're going to, right?
Yeah.
I will start this conversation, and Maddie, you can probably speak even more to this, but I think that Stephen King does his characters really well. I mean, I've only read 3 Stephen King books. I read Misery.
It's the 3rd Stephen King book you've read.
I've only read 2 Stephen King books. I was thinking I'd read it for some godforsaken reason.
Maybe because you heard Maddie talk about it so much,
probably.
I've only read 2 Stephen King books. I've read Misery, and I just finished Carrie. And I feel like he creates an extremely well-rounded and familiar character, I think, because he makes them just like so visceral. Like he puts them into just like the most extreme situations and really just brings them out. And I feel like that's something that this movie held true. Like it really puts its characters through the shit fast just for you to like get to know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's very good at like making the worst situations for people feel very real.
Yeah.
And how they handle them.
Mm-hmm.
Master at the horrors, if you will.
At the horrors?
The horrors?
Of the horrors.
Of the horrors.
Master of the horrors.
I thought you were saying Master of Horrors.
Master of... I mean, come on.
Which, yeah.
Stephen King in the 80s. Have you seen that goofy photo of Misery?
That reminds me of one of my favorite jokes that I've ever written.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did H.P. Lovecraft divorce his wife?
Because he H&Ping on that bitch anymore.
No. Why did H.P. Lovecraft divorce his wife? She was an eldritch whore.
That was good.
Thank you.
That was really good.
Thank you.
I feel like we're going to have like a small section to just dedicated fans of you, Swain.
Yes.
Oh, God.
All I want is to be on a t-shirt.
We're going to be calling you the Swainers.
I think it's extremely well cast.
I agree.
I think the actors did really well. I'm proud. It's one of those proud moments where like they bring in kids and the kids just kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all so good.
Yeah. And then like they bring the kids back for the sequel and they continue to kill it. I know we're not talking about the sequel, but it's just a cool thing to see.
So what would you give it in terms of score?
Gosh. I'm tempted to
Come on, give it to me straight.
I'm tempted to give it a 5 as well.
All right.
I mean, it's masterful. Like every character feels real.
And they all are so unique and work together in so many different ways. And
Yeah.
they're just great. Except for Bill Denbrough, boring ass piece of shit. Sorry.
Who?
I just had to get that off my chest.
Bill, the main boy, lead boy.
Oh.
Georgie's brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You don't think you didn't like him?
I think he's boring.
I think he is a very boring protagonist, actually.
I don't like him or Mike, actually. But Eddie and Richie make up for how bad they are.
Can I change mine to a 4?
Sure.
Because I hate Bill Denbrough.
That's fair, dude. Bill Denbrough sucks.
I think he is a very odd choice as like the leader of the group because he is kind of that like classic, like fucking boring, lawful good.
Which is very interesting because in the book, he's like God.
Yeah.
Like the respect that everybody has for him, he's totally like the leader of the group. Are you saying 4?
I'm going to give it a 4. I'm going to give it a 3.
Ooh, why?
Ooh, do tell.
Because I just want to be different, guys. Can we accept that?
No.
Can we accept that? No.
Yeah.
So my main thing I didn't really like about, I guess, just the movie was what's his name? The bully.
Henry Bowers?
Yeah, I think he sucked like the entire time.
He totally sucks.
Super sucks.
Was like just I don't know. I didn't find it believable him as a bully.
But that's why he's so scary because he's so fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like he's just the worst guy possible.
I think his older counterpart did a little bit better portraying that compared to his younger.
In the sequel?
Yeah. Or maybe I found just him more funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely is funnier in the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not likable at all.
No. And then, like, it's just like the whole like cutting, like carving his name into that kid's stomach and like no one saying anything about that or feeling weird about that. Like I feel like that just wasn't necessarily believable on my part, but I guess it's like it's the what's it called?
Suspension of disbelief?
Yes, the suspension of disbelief.
No, it's not that. It's just showing how fucked up this town is that people can see this shit happening and nobody cares. Like
the whole town is...
Yeah, like it's so corrupt. Like nobody gives a shit and everybody is like willing to look the other way. And with the balloon being in the car, there's a good chance that somebody didn't even drive past. It was just Pennywise being a fuck and like giving Ben a chance to think that he was going to get help and then he didn't. There's a balloon in the back of the car when it drives past. When he cuts his stomach.
The scene.
Sorry, I must not have caught that.
Yeah, in the scene where they're cutting up his stomach, there's a car that goes by and like it's like an older couple that looks over and sees it. And yeah, like Ben is kind of looking to them like, oh, please help me, I'm being cut up by this bully. And then as the car goes past, a red balloon floats up in the back window. So it's almost kind of saying, yeah, maybe it's just Pennywise saying like, nobody cares, bitch, but maybe the car wasn't even real.
Do we want to pause really quick? It is 7.
Yeah, this cat's fucking annoying.
You are annoying. You gave it a 3?
Yeah.
Is that what just
so what the fuck is up with that?
I already said it.
You don't think the bully is believable?
Yeah,
and that earns them a 3? You don't like the rest of the characters?
If I'm being honest, I only really like Richie.
That's fair. Richie is perfection.
Yeah. And that's just because he's the comedic relief. Everyone else is just kind of like, I mean, I'm not saying that they don't have good chemistry. I'm not saying that they don't do really well together.
Yeah.
And they don't do well in those roles. It's just...
You don't like Eddie?
No, not really.
That's stupid.
It's all about that sweet, sweet Rich.
No, I agree. Richie's hot.
Richie's great. Yeah.
No, you can have your opinion.
Yeah, I support that.
What about the overall story? How are you guys feeling about that? Our next category. I'll start this off and I'll give it my score first and I'll give you my explanation. I would say it is a solid 4.
Hell yeah.
It was clear what was happening.
I would also say a 4.
You would also say 4. Why 4, Maddie?
Because, yes, I think it's very understandable. I don't think it, makes anything more complicated than it needs to be. I think it's very original. As a movie, especially coming from a book, from another movie, I think that it totally holds its own and, can continue to introduce new, engaging, and interesting things. And I think that it has a very successful and believable pace to it. I think it's not fun, from the beginning to the end, basically. You start off in a horror movie and you end in a horror movie. And so much of the time, fucking horror movies try to make it funny or romantic or whatever the hell, and it doesn't take itself seriously at all. It just is a horror movie through and through.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I think that it's just it feels so believable.
Yeah.
As a story. It just makes so much sense as a story.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I think it's a 4 because I think there could be things that would maybe make it better, but I think it does a damn good job.
I'm actually surprised about one thing that you said, and maybe I misheard you, but did you say that it doesn't stray from being a horror movie in order to be funny or romantic?
I said it's a horror movie through and through. It doesn't start off as a romance.
Sure.
It doesn't start off trying to be funny. It doesn't start off as this family drama. From the beginning, Pennywise is fucking with these children.
Yeah, hell yeah, totally.
That's what I said.
No, I agree with that. And I would add on top of that, it does my favorite thing in a horror movie, which is it still takes those beats. It still takes those story elements to just show the people being real people, show them doing something maybe a little bit more mundane, something a little funnier, exploring a romantic side of things. You really get invested in the people and the way of life, and I think it brings so much more of an engaging element to the story, and it makes, I feel the horror elements that much more intense. So I would also give it a 4.
4 across the board. So that's solid 12. Nice.
Big 12.
Watchability.
Well, I mean, god damn it, is it fun?
I mean, I feel we kind of said it with the story. I mean, we were engaged and
it's exciting. It's
exciting. It's scary. Has the right elements and really does show within.
Yeah.
God, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm so sorry,
it does
guys.
Show within. I've just been sprayed.
Jesus, I'm so sorry. We can leave this in. Fuck, I'm so spaced out. I have no idea what's going on. Watchability, I give it a solid. I'll give it a 4.
Man, I've got to give it a 5.
I have to agree. It's a hoot.
Are you just gonna take all of my scores?
Well, you keep saying it first.
Considering that I watched it every day during quarantine, pretty much, I think the watchability is pretty solid.
Yeah, I was figuring that for you, Maddie.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised that you gave it a 5 swing, because I remember you were sick of it when I suggested we watch it one time.
Well,
excuse me,
Maddie, you acknowledged him being sick of it, because I remember you're the one who started the joke. He's probably tired of seeing that. I mean, for the 5th time this week or whatever, and then you're like, yeah.
I mean, I'm just the kind of person who doesn't want to watch a movie every day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
I
wrong
every day of the week. I mean, oh yeah, so okay,
7 days in a row
I see,
or whatever.
I thought you were saying once a week. I'm like, what? That doesn't sound bad.
I'm that's not how I consume media. Like I get burned out on a thing even if I love it.
Yeah.
At least for like movies and TV.
Mhm.
Like I get very addicted to like other like activities, but as far as like watching the same thing or like listening to the same song,
Mhm.
I get burnt out pretty quick. But that doesn't mean that I didn't love to watch this movie. I think it's a phenomenal time. It's a very engaging popcorn movie, and it's a very well done film.
I agree.
Give us each of the category scores.
Can do. All right. So for cinematography, we gave it a 14.
Ooh, out of 15. Okay.
Mhm. For characters, we gave it an 11.
All right.
For story, we gave it a 12. And for watchability, we gave it a 14. To a grand total of 51.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Right on the money swing.
Right on it. We both wanted to say 50 at the beginning.
We did, but you said 51.
48.
I said 48.
No, we said
You
40.
said 48?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said 51.
No, you said 48.
Austin, you got
Yeah,
it.
you got it.
You were right.
Dumb motherfucker.
Yeah. Give it to me with both barrels.
Oh my God. Are we
Nice. So it is certifiably toned.
All right, ready? We'll give it the old stamp of the approval together. Ready? Oh, 1, 2, 3. Toned.
Oh,
All right,
okay. I didn't know what we were doing.
Toned on 3. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Toned.
It is toned.
Yeah.
Maddie fucking blew the shit out of that mic.
Just straight across.
Thank you for joining another episode of Room Tone Reviews, a movie you might have seen.
What?
Catch us.
Go watch it, you fools.
Thank you for joining us for another. Can we do that one again? That's what was that? You might
I don't
have
know.
seen?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. That was so rude of me.
It felt
I'm so
good.
sorry.
If you have a movie that you'd like to hear us review, find us on social media. Instant message us on Instagram. Send us a handwritten letter. Do whatever you can to get your movie reviewed by us, and we'll see if it's toned or not. I can't believe you guys just let me keep talking.
I wanted to see where it would go. I was really hoping you would, at some point pause for room tone.